In this video, we're going to talk about PMI strategies, or private mortgage insurance, which is used to help people when they have less than 20% equity in their house. First of all, PMI is not good or bad. It's simply a tool that can be used for financial good or evil as long as it's used correctly. Kind of like me when I'm constructing something and I have a hammer in my hand, I can use it for good to build, or I can smash my thumb and use it for evil. PMI bad. Here's a first example of a case study. We had some people that came to us a few years ago. They had bought a house and put 5% down, and their mortgage insurance was costing them $156 per month. Well, 5 years later, they're still paying that monthly mortgage insurance every month. And for some people, PMI is tax deductible based on their adjusted gross income, but for this family it was not, so that was an after-tax expense. And through a combination of appreciation and paying down a loan, they now had 10% equity in their house. And when we looked at a new loan, even with PMI, we were going to reduce that from $156 a month to $81.67. So a little bit of an interest rate savings plus cutting their PMI almost in half made a big difference for this family. So PMI bad in this case was one where it was just set up at the beginning and it was not monitored during the life of the loan to be reduced later on and hopefully eliminated once we got to the 20% equity in the house. Here's another example of PMI being used good. This family had a second mortgage at 8.5% along with their first mortgage, and they had 10% equity in the property. Because they had heard previously that PMI was always bad, they chose the higher rate second mortgage. What we did was use a special program called Single Premium PMI, which allows a one-time premium of mortgage insurance to be financed into the loan amount, and we also used a 25-year fixed rate mortgage as opposed to a 30-year mortgage. And what happened in this case, going from their 30-year mortgage, both on a first and a second, to a 25-year term with no PMI, we could still decrease their payment by $55 a month. In this case, the PMI is financed into the loan, so there's no monthly mortgage insurance payments. And 10 years later, because of the shorter loan term, they would have $15,000 more equity in their house than had they not refinanced with a better PMI program. They'll pay $27,500 less interest in the first 10 years, and over the life of the loan, their interest savings was $74,993. So a great example of how PMI can be used for good to save these people a tremendous amount of money. So just remember, PMI is just a tool, and knowing how to use that will allow you to build something great in your financial life. You can learn more about PMI and strategies we use at www.piedmont-mortgage.com. Thanks for listening.